I choose to grow, evolve, and focus on my own path, regardless of what others do. I release the need to control others and find strength in my own transformation. My peace comes from within, and I refuse to let others dictate my growth. As long as you wait for others to change, you will continue to feel frustrated, disappointed, and powerless. The reality is, no matter how much you want someone to act differently, their actions are beyond your control. People live by their own beliefs, habits, and choices, and trying to make them see things differently only leads to resistance. The real power lies in shifting your focus inward. Instead of waiting for others to change, direct your energy toward becoming stronger, wiser, and more in control of your own life. When you take full responsibility for your growth, you stop being affected by what others do or don't do. Expecting people to change for your peace of mind is a losing battle. They have their own reasons, justifications, and perspectives that may never align with yours. But this doesn't mean you must accept negativity or tolerate what doesn't serve you. It means understanding that your growth is your responsibility. When you make the choice to change yourself, your reactions, boundaries, and mindset, everything shifts. You gain clarity, strength, and emotional stability. The frustration of waiting disappears, and in its place comes a sense of peace and freedom. Many people spend their lives trying to control others, hoping they will change into what they want them to be. This can be seen in relationships, friendships, families, and workplaces. But no matter how much effort is put into convincing, explaining, or pleading, the result is often the same: people remain as they are. The belief that you can change someone if you try hard enough is an illusion. People change only when they choose to, and that choice is entirely theirs. The more energy you put into trying to control another person's behavior, the more resistance you create. They may feel pressured, judged, or even manipulated, which only strengthens their unwillingness to change. Instead of moving closer to the outcome you want, you push it further away. When this happens, frustration builds, and you may start to feel drained, wondering why your efforts are not working. The truth is, the only thing you can truly control is yourself, your thoughts, actions, and responses. This realization may seem discouraging at first, but in reality, it is freeing. It means you no longer have to carry the weight of trying to fix, save, or change others. It allows you to step away from the cycle of disappointment and shift your focus where it actually makes a difference, on yourself. When you stop trying to control others, you regain your energy, your peace, and your ability to make choices that are best for you. It is important to recognize that not everyone is ready or willing to grow. Some people are deeply attached to their habits and beliefs, and no amount of reasoning or encouragement will shift them. Accepting this truth does not mean you approve of negative behavior, it means you acknowledge reality and adjust your expectations. Instead of demanding change from others, you choose to set your own standards and surround yourself with the right energy. People often hold onto their patterns and behaviors, even when those patterns are harmful. This is because change requires effort, awareness, and sometimes discomfort. Many prefer the familiarity of their habits, even when those habits cause problems. This is why trying to force someone to change rarely works. They are not resisting because they cannot change but because they do not see the need to. Some people will choose comfort over growth, even when given better alternatives. They may fear losing control, feel uncertain about change, or simply lack the motivation to do something different. No amount of convincing will change someone who does not want to change. Instead of trying to push them in a new direction, it is more effective to focus on your own actions. Your energy is better spent on building the life you want rather than trying to shape someone else's choices. When you understand that people resist change for their own reasons, you stop taking it personally. Their unwillingness to grow is not a reflection of you. It is their decision, and they have the right to make it, just as you have the right to make yours. The most effective way to influence change is by becoming an example of growth, peace, and strength. When people see the difference in you, some may naturally feel inspired to change on their own. But even if they don't, you have still freed yourself from the weight of expectation. Letting go of the need to change others brings a deep sense of relief. It allows you to focus on your own path without the burden of trying to manage someone else's. Instead of waiting for them to become better, you take control of your own well-being. This shift in focus creates inner peace, because you are no longer tied to the choices of others. You no longer waste time on frustration and instead use that time to build a life that truly reflects your values and priorities. Focusing on personal growth is the only way to move forward without being affected by others. Instead of waiting for external changes, shifting attention inward leads to real progress. Strengthening the mind, improving emotional control, and setting higher standards create a life that is built on self-respect. When these changes happen, the need for others to act differently disappears. Growth is about making intentional choices that align with personal well-being. Choosing better thoughts, handling emotions with clarity, and setting clear boundaries allow a sense of control over life. It removes the frustration that comes from expecting others to behave differently. The focus shifts from disappointment to self-improvement, making it easier to navigate any situation without stress. By working on personal development, interactions with others change naturally. People either adjust to the new energy or distance themselves. Those who respect growth will remain, while those who resist will fade away. There is no need to convince anyone to change because actions speak louder than words. A stronger mindset attracts better relationships, experiences, and outcomes. Taking responsibility for personal growth leads to emotional freedom. There is no longer a need to wait for approval, validation, or acceptance from others. Strength comes from within, making it possible to handle any challenge without feeling drained. Focusing on self-improvement creates an unshakable foundation for a fulfilling life, regardless of how others choose to act. The way energy is managed determines the quality of interactions with others. When confidence, self-respect, and stability are present, the response from people changes. Those who align with this energy will be drawn closer, while those who do not will naturally distance themselves. Change happens effortlessly by focusing on internal balance rather than forcing external adjustments. Every interaction is influenced by the energy being projected. If frustration and doubt dominate, others will respond in the same way. When calmness and self-assurance are maintained, situations unfold more smoothly. Shifting focus to inner stability ensures that reactions from others do not control emotions. The environment adjusts based on the energy being carried. Raising personal standards forces those around to adapt or step away. The right people will be drawn toward growth, while the wrong ones will struggle to stay in the same space. There is no need to explain or justify these changes because actions make the statement. Those who value personal development will respect and support it, while those who resist will remove themselves over time. Focusing on maintaining positive energy leads to lasting change. It prevents unnecessary conflicts, removes the need for approval, and builds a strong sense of self. Letting go of the expectation for others to change allows full control over emotional responses, leading to peace and stability. When energy is directed towards self-improvement, everything else falls into place naturally. Expecting others to act in a certain way often leads to disappointment. People make their own choices based on their beliefs, priorities, and experiences. Holding on to expectations creates frustration because reality does not always align with what is hoped for. Letting go of these expectations allows freedom from unnecessary stress. Accepting people as they are does not mean tolerating behaviors that cause harm. It means recognizing that personal peace should not depend on someone else's decisions. Instead of waiting for others to change, the focus should be on adjusting reactions and setting clear boundaries. This shift removes the emotional weight that comes with unmet expectations. Releasing the need for external validation brings clarity. It prevents repeated frustration and allows energy to be directed toward personal well-being. Expectations often create attachment to specific outcomes, but real strength comes from adapting to situations as they are, rather than how they should be. Peace comes from understanding that personal growth is an individual responsibility. Choosing to focus on self-improvement, rather than waiting for someone else to change, leads to a stronger mindset. By releasing expectations, stress is reduced, and decisions become clearer. Moving forward with this awareness brings a sense of stability that is not affected by the actions of others. Setting boundaries is essential for maintaining emotional balance. Without clear limits, personal energy is drained by situations that bring stress. Boundaries define what is acceptable and what is not, creating a sense of control over interactions and relationships. They are not about changing others but about protecting inner peace. When boundaries are firm, unnecessary conflict is avoided. People who respect them will adjust, while those who do not will reveal their true intentions. Clear communication is key. There is no need to explain or defend these choices. Prioritizing self-respect ensures that emotional well-being is not sacrificed for the sake of maintaining relationships that do not bring value. Boundaries create a filter for what is allowed into life. Negative influences are minimized, and positive experiences become more common. When expectations are lowered and limits are enforced, interactions become more balanced. This shift reduces emotional exhaustion and allows space for healthier connections. Choosing to protect personal energy strengthens self-worth. It ensures that time and attention are given to what truly matters. The focus remains on growth and stability rather than trying to control external circumstances. When boundaries are maintained, relationships become clearer, and unnecessary stress is removed. Reacting without thinking often leads to regret. Strong emotions can cloud judgment and cause decisions that bring unnecessary stress. When emotions take over, the situation controls the mind instead of the other way around. Shifting from reaction to response means taking a moment to think before speaking or acting. Responding with awareness prevents unnecessary conflict. It allows control over words, actions, and emotions, leading to better outcomes. A well-thought-out response keeps situations from escalating and avoids feeding into negative energy. Pausing before reacting gives clarity and helps maintain control over personal behavior. Not everything needs an immediate reaction. Some situations resolve themselves without interference. Choosing not to react emotionally to every challenge brings peace. It removes the pressure of feeling responsible for fixing or addressing every issue. The ability to respond instead of react strengthens emotional stability. By practicing patience and self-awareness, communication improves. Situations that once caused frustration become easier to manage. Instead of being influenced by the emotions of others, decisions are made with a calm and clear mind. When reactions are replaced with conscious responses, relationships improve, and unnecessary stress is avoided. Holding on to past experiences can prevent growth. The mind replays situations, searching for answers, but dwelling on what has already happened changes nothing. Carrying past disappointments into the present only extends the pain. Letting go allows space for new opportunities and a fresh perspective. Forgiveness is not about excusing others but about freeing personal energy. Holding on to resentment keeps emotions tied to past events. Releasing the weight of old experiences makes it possible to move forward without being controlled by what once happened. The past cannot be changed, but the way it is carried can be. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It means choosing to no longer let past situations define the present. Learning from past experiences helps make better choices without allowing negative emotions to take over. The focus shifts from what went wrong to what can be done better moving forward. Moving forward means taking responsibility for personal growth. Instead of waiting for closure or apologies, the decision to step forward is made independently. When past burdens are released, clarity and peace take their place. The focus remains on what is ahead, rather than what is behind. Personal growth influences everything. The way thoughts are managed, the way emotions are controlled, and the way actions are taken create a ripple effect. When real change happens within, it reflects outward. People respond differently, situations shift, and life moves in a new direction. Trying to change others through words rarely works. People are more influenced by actions than by explanations. When growth is visible, it speaks louder than anything that can be said. Those who are ready for change may feel inspired, while those who are resistant will choose to remain the same. Not everyone will understand personal growth. Some will appreciate it, while others may feel uncomfortable. That is not something to control. The focus should remain on progress, not on how others perceive it. Growth is a choice, and those who value it will naturally align with the energy being created. By choosing to improve, new opportunities appear. Better relationships develop, healthier situations arise, and negative influences fade. The most effective way to bring change is by demonstrating it. Growth is not something that needs to be explained. It is something that is seen, felt, and recognized without effort. The decision to change is always within reach. Waiting for others to act differently only leads to wasted time. The power to move forward comes from making the choice to focus on personal well-being instead of expecting external adjustments. Growth is not about forcing things to happen. It is about choosing better responses, setting stronger boundaries, and letting go of what no longer serves a purpose. These choices create a sense of freedom that does not rely on the actions of others. Every decision shapes the future. Holding on to old patterns keeps things the same, while making new choices leads to different results. When the focus is placed on self-improvement, everything changes naturally. The shift happens not through waiting but through taking action. They may never change, but that does not have to be a limitation. The choice to grow, improve, and live with purpose is always available. When personal change is prioritized, life becomes clearer, relationships become healthier, and unnecessary stress disappears. The focus remains on what can be controlled, the self.